It can be all 4 seasons interlaced in one day. I used to carry an umbrella everywhere. Not anymore. I let the rain splash, have its way. I once heard someone say that rain is angels' tears. Do fish live in trees? Yes. If trees have fallen in the river. I lived by rivers all my life. In it, on it, by it. Not just here, the Pymmes Brook. The River Lee right through to Springfield Park was a playground. As a child, through a snicket, through the autumn, winter branches, the leaves, the sounds. And there existed this space to express oneself, to find one's nature in the company of nature. A private sanctuary. And even now, to meditate, I feel my heartbeat become in tune with natural sounds. Being by the river centers you. At 8 years old, splashing across the river was a huge, wild adventure. This beautiful green space next to the A406. And to hear it flowing, gentle, crashing, tumbling. Sounds gradually overwhelming even the sound of the traffic. Boxer's Lake was my little bit of heaven, and it echoes here. The river, the rhythm, the tone. You have to have a reason to get up, shine. Otherwise, you die inside. Casually, I asked a lady about rivers and seasides in her life. She said, no, I have no time or inclination. But I remember swimming between islands near India with a guide in a boat. It absolutely wasn't me, but I absolutely had to do it. I asked her if she would like to walk the Pymmes Brook with us. She said, I can hardly say no now. A young person said, I don't like water, rivers, or the sea. They've always scared me. Though I love hearing the river from my house, but walking this river has really moved me. Walking this river has changed me. These places are precious. I feel between place stories. Where have we been? Where are we going? Us trying to have power over nature. Rhododendrons. Ain't they beautiful? How do you spell rhododendrons? R-O... what? R-H. Silent H, eh? That's a bit la-di-da. Well, I don't know the names of the other flowers. However, they are just as beautiful. I like the difference between the seasons. I love the sound, feeling, smell. Spring and port wine. Source of Pymmes Brook, open and free to do what it wants to do. Swifts fly high up looking for insects. Doves fly sideways. They do, you know, and backwards, all around you. Sri Lanka, coastal line. My father picked me up from school. I was 6 or 7 years of age. I opened the train window, leaned my head out, and felt that rush at the bridge confluence of river and ocean. Along the Pymmes Brook, I walk or cycle and feel everything that's happening around me. For someone that can only kind of swim, I like being by the water. This is distressful. Seeing this, being near this, physical distress. How can you get people to value what is essential as opposed to a bigger car, nicer something, whatever? How can you get people to value what is essential? The more you look at it, the more you see the patterns and look through the water, beyond the patterns, interpreting things. Toxic beauty. It is upsetting. Perhaps because of us. You cannot touch it. You cannot get in the water. You cannot swim in it. I was a puddle jumper when I was a child. I couldn't resist it. You can't get away with it now. It looks clean. It looks pure. It is contaminated. It disrupts hormones. It disrupts male reproductive systems. I dreamt that the Pymmes Brook flooded up here over the crossroads. My socks, my trousers were wet through, and the waves were rising. Funny thing was, I didn't panic. Well, sometimes when you're in a dream, you don't know that it's a dream. And so the ferryman said, you have to tell a good story to get to the other side of the river, connect up myths, resurrect its truth. Quirky maybe. Are people who walk alongside rivers of a kind? My head opens up. My heart. I walk away from the phone, which has a massive influence on me. I walk away from car noises. I walk away to catch my breath. I walked with a bell ringer who said he'd usually be in a bell tower now, chasing and waiting for cadence from these huge sounds with his fellow bell ringers. As we talked, I was with him in the bell tower. He was with me alongside the river. We were in two places at the same time. I wanted to talk about the bell tower. He wanted to talk about the river. He said he's been meaning to walk along here for a long time. It can be choral, the sound of running water, especially just after it rains. And we're just off the road. It's quite exciting to see it rushing along. Something wondrous about feeling rivers, streams next to you, under you. You don't realize the thrum of nature is the source of life. Nature crashes, waltzes, streams into our senses. Nature's music. No need for headphones. The river is a reminder, the way it flows. Older folks hold on to the way it was. My mother's brother died in a swimming accident. She would write notes for my brother and I so that we wouldn't have to go swimming at school. We never learned to swim. But now one of my sons snorkels in Australia and the other is a swimming instructor. It takes time, but things can change. When will we learn that our river is an asset, not a problem. When it appears clear, sunlight streaming through branches, fast and slow flow between lands, it makes me want to dive in and see what else is there. Litter picking the river. Prams, contraceptives, rubbish. Litter picking a river? When I open the curtains, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see a sea of chaos. We used to pick up 10 to 12 bags. Now it's 4 or 5 bags of rubbish. I watched my dad volunteer. He said it's a broken window syndrome. If people see dumping, people add to it. We volunteer. We even plant trees. You can get a feisty jolt when you see them flourish, knowing that they will be here when we are gone. Rivers and streams, how they disappear and reappear. The sponge effect, using nature to heal nature. Tranquil. The wilderness is where nature is fighting back. At least can we assist? Finding secret rivers is inspiration for resurrection and the potential for change. A thing of the past. Pollution, pesticide, plastic. Things for the future. Willows. Water. Wonderful. Always been interested in where rivers come from. The state of rivers says something powerful about the world we live in. Something powerful about us. I like walking everywhere. I help people find green spaces the way green spaces have helped me. I have 3 grandchildren. I have more time now to spend with them. Of course, they should know these secret places. Calming presence, life affirming. Sound of water. I dream of fairy tale snow falling without wind. Now I can smell nature and purity. Are there any towns without rivers? We must have more wetlands. It cleans the water naturally. Riverliness. Such a lovely word. We are going to walk, talk, work, breathe this river into being healthy. The river belongs to us. Water gushes downhill. Fresh water has become a metaphor for life. When I was heavily pregnant, water supported me. Being in water, I feel ageless. There is a waterfall in Iceland, energetic, insane, thunderous, a force of nature. The water came at you, around the side, around the back, feeling the water on your face. I had forgotten all about it until being here. It's like all water is connected. It connects us. Seeing, listening, feeling the water's flow. A river cooling the soul. It is enduring. It is constant. It is defiant. It belittles us.